Okay, what I did while I was off camera, I cleaned a lot of the wood off, alright, with the flat chisel, getting down into that lighter wood because I don't like them so much two-toned. He's got some dark exterior yet, a little bit still on him, but you can see him a lot better, and you can see him starting to shake. Cleaned up a little bit around his cheeks, his nose, a little under his nose. Got the knife and went up in here to get a little more depth and up under the hairline. I want that forehead to stand out. Okay, so basically all you're doing there is taking a knife, you know, and really getting up underneath there to create some depth. See that shadow? You really want shadow in these guys. It really makes them pop. So the more you get up underneath there, you know, the more shadow you create, and it really gives them a lot better look to them. Okay, and I really like deep shadows up in there, especially where the hair, the face goes under the hair and the forehead goes underneath the hair, right? Underneath the nose too, like right in here. Focus on where you're going to put your nostrils, right? Focus on cutting those out pretty good, and then you can round them off later. Like I said, you don't want the nose to stick out too far, but from the corner, you know, from like right here to there, and then take that little V-chip out to really get some shadow under that cheek there, you know. So you can play with these. I don't want to pick too much with my little blade here. I'll try to use my bigger blade, but and then, you know, you clean them up and round everything off. Right? Always trying to pick a little more here and there, and every time you look at something, you can clean it up more, or add a little more shadow wherever you can do things like that. Keep it clean, get a little more depth. It really helps the carving. Okay, so work on finding spots to create shadow in the corners over here where the cheeks go in. We'll dig that in, you know, stuff like that. But it really makes him stand out. He doesn't look so flat, right? You want some depth in there. Okay, we're gonna go up to the eyebrows here. I'm just gonna use a knife to separate those. Where is my knife? My big knife. Hold on one sec. Not my big knife, but you can do this with a little gouge, but I don't know where mine is at the moment, the tiny one. So I'm just going to split the eyebrow again. I'm going to do this one there. Just making a V cut again. Alright, right about here. You see that? Okay. To get that nose to stay up under there. Okay, pick that out just like that. Right, so kind of like a little frown to him now. Right, I can leave it just like that and line it with a V tool, and that'd be fine. On the mustache, I rounded it off a little bit. Right, just like that. Take any sharp edges off, and make sure that you have enough depth in here with the eyes to put some eyeballs in, and that's about what we're going to do now. We're going to start doing that. Pick any little chips out there. Try and get it fairly clean in there with no bumps, and make sure you got plenty of clearance to draw a little eyeball in there. Okay, without getting into the nose or anything. If you gotta take wood out along the sides more, make this skinnier, that's what you do. Alright, what I'm gonna do, I wonder if you can see a pencil if I use the pencil. Sharpen it here. Good thing about these knives is I don't mind sharpening my pencil with one of these and not a really good basswood blade that I make. I make blades for everything. I used to be a machinist before I was a wood carver, so if I need a blade, I just happen to grind one up and stick it in a handle and pretty up the handle. Like I said, I will be putting more knives on my website probably this week. So if you'd like any, just shoot me an email and we'll get a couple out to you. Alright, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw a little eyelid, okay? Just like that. You see those? Try and keep them pretty much the same. I like to use my knife to do these, but with the way the camera's right behind me and over my shoulder, I'm probably not going to be able to do it too well, so I might just try and do it with this V-tool that I have at my disposal right now, which again is a fairly big V-tool, but if I use them out I might be okay. But what I'm going to do is take my V... Yeah, that's pretty big, huh? Here, try the left eye first, and if not, I'll clean it up with my knife. All I'm doing is running my V-tool through that, okay? Creating a groove. Just like that. Okay? So all I did was make a groove along those lines that we just cut. Now I'll clean that up with my knife. I use the tip, so all I'm going to do is put the point of my knife in and go right across it, right? So if my arm's in the way, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make it pretty deep there. That's going to be his eyelid. Then I'm going to undercut. Take it out, right? Same on this side. If I could do it lefty, you should be able to carve with both hands. I really recommend you practice that. Left hand, right hand makes things a lot easier than trying to turn the whole piece around and just use your right hand. So practice being at least a little ambidextrous. Okay, now I do have a pencil line up there, but I got my lid there, and we're going to leave that just like that, a little deep in the corner here maybe, right? Because we're going to form, or try to form, some eye mounds. There's a lot of different ways to do eyes. I know where everybody asks about the eyes. I did an eye video or two. I try to keep them simple, because you could do heavy lidded eyes. There's all kinds of ways. What I'm doing here is making them pretty flat underneath. You got to make sure that the eye can close. So if this is sticking way out underneath the lid here, if that's too high, you're really going to have a hard time. Alright, you want to kind of flatten them out underneath the eyes a little bit. You do want roundness from this point to this point. Alright, you see that arcing line right here, alright? You want that roundness, but underneath the eye, clear a lot of that out, especially over here in the corner. I'm going to make a little indent there, alright? And cut that corner out. Go up, dig in there. What I did was I made a V. 1 and 2, right? Made a V. I'm going to pop that chip out there. Like that, right? Now, if it's not deep enough and I don't like it, I'll do it again. 1, 2. See how it's starting to get a little shadow, and then pop it out again. And then go a little deeper there. Okay. And what I did was basically I took out the corner of the eye, and if I do it on the other side, I'll have like a round mound once I shave it down a little, right? And that's all you need to get that eye forming. How we doing on time? I guess this will be it for this clip, and we'll come back and do the other, continue on the eyes.